What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and I'm here today to give my tips and tricks for Dead by Daylight's newest killer, the Spirit. So I'm going to be going over some general things about the Spirit in ways to make you play as her just a little bit better. Now, I'm not going to go over general tips and tricks for the game because I feel like when it comes down to most of these killers, the way you play them and the way that you end up killing people are exactly the same. So there are, tips and tricks regarding that, but I'm not going to go into that right now. What I do want to talk about is the Spirit in particular. Now, when it comes to the Spirit, really, she only has one main thing that makes her a little bit different than most killers, and that's basically her special ability. Her special ability is basically to leave her physical body behind, become invisible, and kind of glide across the map very, very fast, even though she is a fast killer to begin with, and that is one of her strengths, and that's something that you're going to want to use, and really, you don't really have a choice to use her speed. Her speed is one of her main strengths, and something that I think a lot of people have pointed out about her ever since the pre-alpha, like ever since people first started being able to play as the Spirit. People were noticing, she's a bit faster of a killer, and that's very true. Just normal speed, she's fast, but her ability is very, very powerful. Now, her ability is also a little bit tricky because although it may look easy when you actually watch someone else do it, it's actually very, very difficult because when you do this ability, you lose sight of everything. You don't actually get to see the survivor. Now, the good part is the survivor doesn't get to see you, so they're not going to get notified that you're around them, which is very, very good. Another way of just generally using her ability is to just get across the map fast. I find myself doing that a lot. If I hook a survivor and I don't want to camp, if I'm not a camping killer, and I kind of go out when they do end up getting unhooked, or if I'm trying to bridge a long gap in the map, I use that ability because it really is a very fast way to get you from point A to point B. Now, I've seen a lot of people do the whole kind of turn invisible, appear right behind the person, and pull them off the generator. I had done that a couple times. I didn't actually pull them off, but I did hit them when they were doing the generator. One time I actually just walked right into them, and that's another thing. While you end up not being able to see the survivor when you do this ability, you're not going to end up seeing the survivor. Like I said, you can see the blood trail, and blood trails eventually end, and they end where the actual survivor is. Now, the problem is you don't actually know where they are, so you're going to have to be really, really good at looking at the actual blood trail itself, and that's a little bit difficult because depending on where the survivors go, the blood trails can get very, very mixed up. What I do like about the Spirit is you can actually run right into them, or they can run right into you, and the game will actually stop you. You'll hit like an invisible wall, and then that's when you actually hit the survivor. So I do like that. You can't phase through anything. She does obviously have the perk where you can phase through the pallets after you break 4 of them, which I like that perk. I don't actually bring it in, but I like the idea of that perk. But you get stopped right at a survivor. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Other than that, again, just her strengths in general are her speed and the sword. I feel like the sword, because of its length, you actually get a better hit distance with her. Now, she has a shorter lunge, so in terms of when you hold the actual hit button, whether it's R2 or RT or whatever on PC, however, whatever button is the actual hit button, it's not as long of a lunge as, say, somebody like a Michael Myers on a stage 3. It's not like that. It's pretty short, but her sword does make her pretty capable of hitting at a longer distance. I find myself being able to hit people, not really getting like juked out by people that often. And then as far as her perks go, her perks are really good, and I tend to bring in at least 2 of them. I bring in the one where when a survivor does a generator, you get to see all the survivors, and the obsession sees you. I think that's a really good trade-off. I think that's a fantastic perk, and I use it. That's one of the 4 perks I use on her. I use that, and I also use the one where you bring in the 2 fake totems. So if they break one of the totems, you actually get alerted to where they are. So I definitely like that one too. It's a little bit of a mind game because a lot of people, depends on who you play with, depends on the survivors you play with, but a lot of survivors will go after totems, myself included. Obviously, if you see a fiery totem, you tend to break it, and if you break the wrong one with the Spirit, you get alerted. So I go with that, and I go with my normal Deer Stalker and Iron Grasp, and those other ones are kind of swappable. That's really just up to you, but I really like the Spirit's perks, and I really like the Spirit overall. I think she's a fantastic killer to play as. I feel like she's very fluid. I feel like she's able to make like turns fast. Like I said, her overall speed, I feel like she's one of the fastest killers in the game. Now, maybe that gets toned down by the developers of Dead by Daylight over the next couple days or weeks, but as of right now, you have to use that speed to your advantage, and you have to use that phasing ability as much as you possibly can. It recharges rather quick. You can stop it short. You don't have to wait for it to go completely up, so I really do like that. I think she's a fantastic killer. I honestly think she's maybe my favorite killer. The Pig has formerly been my favorite killer, but I really, really am liking playing as the Spirit. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think of the Spirit? Any tips and tricks that you would tell people based off you playing or you watching somebody else play? Let me know. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next video.